Hello. So the new endgame mode Stygian Onslaught came out this morning, and since I like to do 4-star challenges, I decided it would be fun to try to clear the Menacing difficulty using only 4-star units with 4-star weapons. And of course, the Battle Pass weapons are not allowed. I'm not gonna make this intro longer than it should be, so let's get going right away. The first boss we'll have to fight is the Hydro Tulpa, and for this one I decided to play a Hyperbloom team with Kirara, Collei, Ororon, and Kukishinobu. And since we have 2 Dendro units in the team, we don't need to have 2 4-piece Deepwood memories, so I gave the Deepwood set to Kirara and decided to give a more offensive option to Collei, giving her the 4-piece Golden Troop. I don't know if it's the most optimal option, but her skill actually deals a decent amount of damage, so it's still gonna be better than having a second Deepwood. I also decided to give my Collei a sacrificial bow, so that we can have better uptime in her skill and she doesn't have energy issues anymore. Then we have Ororon and Kukishinobu. Ororon might steal some of the Hyperblooms from Kuki, but his personal damage makes up for it. And as for the strategy for the fight, it's actually pretty simple, there's not much to say. We kinda unga bunga between every unit and try to use our abilities off cooldown. The only thing I'm trying to be careful of is to not use Collei's burst just before the Tulpa dashes away. I'm trying to wait for his dash before using my Collei burst. The mini Tulpas are not really too big of a concern because all of our Dendro application is gonna make quick work of them even if we don't try to focus them. So yeah, the fight is pretty straightforward. There's not much to say. We just hit the boss, dash away when it gets dangerous, and yeah, that's about it. Alright. Is the burst? He's not gonna dash away now, I think. Okay, never mind. I mean, the burst is out already. Alright, I think we got him. Yeah, this should be good. Bloop! Oh, that didn't kill him. Bloop! Alright. The second boss we have to fight is the Lava Dragon, and for this guy I decided to take an Overload teams, because Overload teams are actually really good against him. Firstly, you have your Pyro units to break his shield, and when you break his shield the first time, it's going to lower his resistances for every element other than Pyro, which means that your Electro unit is actually going to deal a significant amount of damage, so you're gonna be able to deal some damage before the shield goes down. Also, I believe the Overloaded is a Pyro reaction, it's considered as a Pyro attack, so I'm pretty sure the Overload reaction helps lowering this guy's shield. Anyway, the first rotation was a bit slow, obviously because we start with 0 energy, but after that the second rotation is going to be a lot faster because we start with more energy, and as you can see he's already well under half HP. I maybe went a little bit overkill with the favonius. I think Xiangling could have gotten away without a favonius weapon, so I could have used her favonius lance on Rosaria, but we're gonna talk about that when we get to the Rosaria team. But yeah, this one was actually pretty easy. Xiangling is a strong character, Fischl is a strong character, all of the characters in this team are pretty strong. So yeah, this guy was pretty easy. Okay, that's gonna get it down. Wow, I actually have a lot of time to spare. I don't need to use anyone's ability anymore. I can just stay on Xiangling. Bloop bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop. Alright. Well, that was easy. But then we get into the tough guy. We get into the tough part. Honestly, I thought this guy was not going to be possible at first, until I decided to try Favonius Greatsword on my Gaming. That's right, the energy requirements were so bad that it ended up being better to give a Favonius Greatsword to my Gaming so we can make a more smooth rotation that loops around really well. As for the Cryo units, we have Rosaria and Lila actually applies a lot of Cryo. She applies a crazy amount of Cryo as long as you can keep her shield. If you manage to keep her shield up, she does a crazy amount of Cryo application, which is really good. But anyway, as I said just before, I think it would have been better for this team to have Favonius Lance on Rosaria. But it ended up not mattering that much because of our Favonius Greatsword Gaming, and as you can see, this rotation loops around really well. It's a really fast rotation, it's less than 20 seconds, and because of the Favonius Greatsword, the R5 Favonius Greatsword on Gaming, we can loop it around really well, and it works. Obviously, we're gonna deal a bit less damage per plunge. When I had the Mailed Flower, I was doing like 220 per plunge instead of 170, but I just struggled so much to get the energy back that Favonius Greatsword ended up being better. Especially since we can't use the handbook trick here. Yeah, they decided to make a game mode where you have 0 energy when you start, and on top of that, you can't handbook. That's a little bit cringe. But I mean, it wasn't an intended feature to begin with, so it kinda makes sense that they're trying to remove it, but yeah, I'm still sad about it. Now, I did a little bit of a misplay here. I did a normal attack on Gaming, which kinda messed up my melt. I didn't press the plunge early enough, but anyway, we managed to get the clear, and that's it. We managed to clear the Menacing difficulty of the Stygian Onslaught using only 4-star units with 4-star weapons. I also managed to clear difficulty 5 using only C0 or 0 characters. I don't know if you're interested in seeing that. I could make a video on that if you want. I actually recorded the footage, but I just thought the 4-star clear was gonna be more fun. But anyway, you can see my builds in the background right now, although I did talk a bit about them throughout the video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!